Hello. Welcome, everyone. My name is Cortney Singleton. I'm an acupuncturist. I'm a yoga teacher. I straddle between Aspen, Colorado and Orlando, Florida. And Dr. Patty is a dear friend of mine, a mentor, a doctor, a teacher. She is many things in my life. So I am just honored to be able to bring a yoga practice to you. To you and to her patients and to her people to really provide an extra layer of support, an extra layer of the protocols that she has put into place for building immunity and for building a healthier lifestyle overall. Those of you that know Dr. Patty and that have worked with her, that are patients of hers, even friends, or have connections to her, you are probably very familiar with her 5-point model, and so am I. And it's about putting it into practice. So part of that 5-point model involves a level of physicality, of exercise, of staying healthy in the mind and the body, and really fortifying that relationship that you have with your mind and your body. It's along those lines of the things that we do to create a joyful sensation, to stay, to raise our energetic vibration. And it really begins with us. And it can have something to do with your diet. It can have things, and it can have a lot to do with the amount of water that you're drinking. But it also has to do with movement and living your best life yet and staying positive. And together we can raise the energetic vibration, even if we just start with ourselves. So this is a component that I'm pleased to bring to you with my experience with yoga. So without further ado, we're going to be going through a rather short introduction to gentle yoga, restorative yoga. This is the kind of yoga that rejuvenates us, that brings us back, that doesn't leave us feeling tired, but leaves us feeling rejuvenated, and not only in the physical sense, but in the mental and the emotional sense. We can take a low vibration and coming from a place where maybe we don't feel so good and literally shift ourselves and create that into subconscious thinking. And we can do it through meditation, we can do it through repetition, we can do it through our self-speak and this breathing that we're going to work on a little bit today. And we're going to be working on a couple of different things. So I'll be setting my glasses aside. And again, my name is Cortney Singleton, and I hope that you'll stay in touch with me as well. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's CourtneyCat33, no you. And I'm here to be just an extra layer of support. I would like to start with alternate nostril breathing. Alternate nostril breathing has a couple of different benefits for you. It's excellent for helping to open up the sinuses and to clear the sinuses on a more physical level. On a mental and emotional level, it helps to balance the right and left hemispheres of the brain, the masculine and the feminine. So it helps to bring more harmony, if you will, to the overall sense of well-being. So to do this, you're going to take your right hand, your thumb and your ring finger, okay? You're going to place the right thumb over the right nostril. You're going to inhale. And then you plug the left nostril and you exhale through the right. Now sit in a comfortable position as you do this. I'm going to continue to do so you can see what I'm doing. Breathing in through one nostril, plugging the opposite, and exhale. I recommend closing your eyes as you do this so you can feel the energetic shift into balance. You might notice one side being dominant, and this technique is going to help to restore the balance of interdependence of yin and yang energy. The other hand can simply rest on the knee or anywhere you feel most comfortable. I do recommend sitting in an upright position so you can breathe as freely as possible. So stay with me for the next minute and let's practice together. Inhale through one nostril. Plug both nostrils, hold the breath. Exhale, releasing your hand. Let's inhale through both nostrils. And exhale. Don't be surprised if you have a runny nose or if you have a little bit more productive phlegm. That's very normal because we've actually stimulated the sinuses to actually be productive. So this is a good way to help clear out the sinuses. If you suffer from rhinitis or from allergies, this can be a very helpful practice for you to get into, especially when you're feeling highly affected by seasonal allergies or anything else. So this is going to help to improve the amount of oxygen blood flow through the body into the brain to the upper body. So alternate nostril breathing, that is our first breathing technique. Our next breathing technique is called Ujjayi breathing. Ujjayi translates to the whisper breath or victorious breathing. Now, when it comes to yoga practice, this is a very common pranayama. Pranayama translates to breathing exercise. This is very common, and this is a practice that we integrate into the movement and breath that happens when we practice yoga. So to do this Ujjayi breathing, we're going to close the mouth and press the tongue to the roof of your mouth. And when you do that and you inhale, you're going to feel the breath kind of swirling around to the back of the throat, kind of making a very ocean-like sound. Okay, so let's just practice that. And it's almost like it's a whisper sound, like the sound that you hear when you're listening to the ocean waves. But we will keep the lips closed because we want to maintain that level of prana shakti and keep that energetic flow inside the body rather than exhaling it all out. So let's just sit up tall. And if you'd like, you can change positions with your feet, placing the opposite foot in front. Stay comfortable in a seated position. You can sit on bolsters or pillows or blocks. And now we breathe here, Ujjayi breathing. So as you press the tongue to the roof of the mouth, you might notice the breath gets shallow and maybe stuck here at the diaphragm. Can you take that breath down deeper into the abdomen? And maybe even just allow the belly to swell. Now you can take those first few breaths and be very audible about it because it helps to be able to hear it. And that sound is very self-soothing to us. That can be a very quieting sound that can help us to calm ourselves and be very self-soothing in times where we are experiencing anxiety. And in these times, in these very chaotic and uncertain times, it's very, very normal for us to be experiencing anxiety and things that kind of move us into a lower vibration. So through this practice of pranayama, of Ujjayi breathing, this is when we want to energetically start to shift our self-speak and the words and the vibrations of the words as we speak to ourselves. So perhaps you would like to come up with a mantra that helps you to stay in that positive vibration. You can say something very simple to yourself like Sat Nam, which means I am. And you can fill in the blank. I am enough. I am beautiful. I am life. I am joy. I am peace. I am happy. I am safe. I am present. Let's continue to practice. And I do encourage you to just close your eyes and just allow yourself to go a little more inward and focus your space, your awareness on this place between the eyebrows. This is also our sixth chakra, our eye of intuition, our deepest sense and place of knowing. Tap into yours. If you are in a state of feeling very anxious or uncalm, then you may want to keep your eyes just slightly open and look down the bridge of your nose. In time, you might find yourself closing your eyes and going a little bit more internal. Count your breath if necessary. That will help you to stay present and focused. Let your breath be full and complete. Breathe in to the very top of the breath. Fill up the tank. Exhale until there's no breath and the body welcomes the next. Relax your shoulders and relax your face. Continue to breathe with dry breathing. Make it a practice, just like you would practice anything, a yoga pose, as you would practice martial arts, as you would practice playing golf, or any other thing that you do. Breathing is a practice in and of itself. And so is shifting the thought process that you have going on internally. A lot of Dr. Patty's practice works with the HeartMath Institute, and I highly recommend that you speak to her about that a little bit more in depth, or research it on your own about drawing the energy from the heart center to the brain and circulating the breath through. So let's practice that together now. If you could just bring something to this heart space area that represents serenity and calm and peace. Perhaps it's a painting, it's a place that you've been, it's a dream, it's a connection that you have to something, but it's not the tangible. Let's not stay focused on the tangible aspects of this. Let's really focus deeply on the feeling and the sensation, and take our pranayama practice that much deeper into a more psycho-emotional realm, and shifting any kind of negative thought on that lower vibration to the higher vibration. So let us practice that. Just, practice, because the first thing that comes to mind is probably at the forefront of the brain. So draw that in here to the heart area. This is heart chakra, drawing up and through the sixth chakra and cycling it through and drawing the energy up in a practice of reprogramming the subconscious thought. So let us practice and continue together. Stay with the sensation, release the tangible, the vision. Stay with the feeling, the sensation that you feel in the body and where you feel it. And it is certainly okay to take a few exhales through the mouth, but then just come back to lightly closing the mouth and pressing the tongue to the roof of your mouth and continuing this breathing. And now you may notice that you have started to feel a little bit more calm and a little bit more centered now that we have gone through 2 breathing exercises. These are some things that I'd like for you to continue to practice on your own. And if you need to rewatch this video a few more times, I'll practice with you. And you can continue to have the guided voice of my voice connecting with you and helping you through this. Because sometimes we kind of get a little bit caught up in all of the mindfulness and all of the thinking and all of the kind of chaos in the mind. But through these techniques, we can start to get more present and very grounded. And that is why it's important to sit. It's important to be grounded. As we sit in this posture, we're connecting to our Muladhara, to the root chakra, and we're allowing ourselves to become more in alignment with our chakras as we build from the ground up, from that Uddiyana Bandha, all the way up through the heart center, all the way through the throat chakra and our expression and our breathing to the 7th chakra at the very top of our head, that portal to spirituality as you see fit to connect to your highest good and your highest power. Now, my friends, we have been sitting for a bit, so let's get into some movement. Let's begin to move this body and get into some restorative yoga poses and postures that are going to help to continue to help us feel more relaxed and safe and peaceful and joyful. So let's start by bringing the hands to the knees and just lean forward, bringing more awareness to our 3rd chakra right here at the navel. So if you think about digestion and like the butterflies that we get with nervousness or excitement, this is kind of bringing that awareness to this area where we can settle and also stimulate movement. So literally getting things moving in the intestines. It's very important that you drink lots of water. And as Dr. Patty recommends, put pink salt in your water so that you stay very hydrated and your body accesses all of the nutrients necessary for hydration, for proper hydration. I won't forget the time that I sat in her office and she told me that I needed to be drinking a gallon of water a day. And I thought to myself, that is a lot of water, and quite a bit more than I'm used to drinking. Well, now I have to tell you that it doesn't feel quite normal if I'm not drinking a gallon of water a day and using my Himalayan pink salt as a supplement rather than drinking sugary things like Gatorade and other things like that spike your insulin. Stay the more natural route if you can. And so we're just moving and releasing the lower back. We're also stimulating the ascending colon, the ascending colon, to be productive, to help move through. As an acupuncturist, who's the large intestine, issues with the large intestine very often have to do with holding on to things and not being able to quite let go. Breath in and breath out. So I'm very excited to be doing this series, and I'm looking for, I'm going to be brainstorming ideas to continue this more restorative realm of yoga. I'm by nature a power yoga teacher, but I feel that the balance is absolutely essential. Now let's take a twist. So releasing the lower back, take one hand and just take a gentle twist and release your ear to your shoulder. Here in Aspen, I work with a wonderful group called Aspen Elevated Health. I'm an acupuncturist in this group, and I'm very thrilled to be bringing some of these practices to my clients here in Aspen as well, and to those of you that are watching out there in the cyber world. Let's take a turn to the other side. Sitting up nice and tall, we take a deep breath in with joy and exhale. And think about the implication of that, of breathing in and breathing out. What are we breathing in? What are we drawing into our energy field? And what are we releasing, twisting, exhaling, and letting go of? And let's come back to center. Let's find our way into child's pose. I say this often in my yoga classes, and I'll share this with you. What better way to get grounded than to literally put your head down on the ground? So let's bring our head to the ground in child's pose, creating plenty of space for the belly to breathe. Let's inhale a slow, deep breath, allowing the hips to settle. And for those of you that have issues with the hips and knees, feel free to come forward here. If you happen to have blocks or bolsters, use them. I'm showing you this practice without them on purpose so that you know that you can do this whole practice and many yoga practices without anything. But bolsters and blocks can make you feel that much more comfortable. If you have them, I would place a bolster right here in front of you so that you can lay on it and support the belly. Let's take 5 nice long deep breaths together. Inhale and exhale out. Inhale, joy. Exhale, anything not serving to the mind, the heart, or the body. Let's let it go. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, deep breath. Exhale, let's notice how the mind is beginning to shift into a much more contemplative state. And this is where we're really ready to receive. So yes, it takes some preparation to get into a mindset of being able to receive the information for healing. And then from here, let's move our way into a cat stretch, coming up onto our hands and our knees. Round your back and pull the stomach in. And then lengthen out nice and long, bringing the head to the tailbone, breathing in. Round out the spine, pull the belly button in and up, open across the upper back, neck, and shoulders. And lengthen out nice and long, head to the tailbone, shoulders back and down. Let's keep going a few more rounds. Inhale. And exhale. Spinal flexion and extension is beneficial in many ways. We open up the back and the neck and the shoulders in this area where we tend to hold a lot of stress and tension. And in the current times, we're spending a lot more time with our hands in front of us on our computers and our phones. So we want to open up that space in the upper back, neck, and shoulders. We also want to open up the chest, the heart, the space across the front of the body and the collarbones. Feeling that long stretch in the abdomen. Let's take one more stretch. Round it out and lengthen out nice and long. Now we have been sitting for quite some time, so let's go ahead into a downward dog and just give the legs a nice long stretch. Releasing the head down. Press the palms firmly into the mat. And I like to unlock my dog a little bit and then just exhale into a deeper version of the pose. I also feel this more in the hamstrings as I do this. So let's just unlock the dog, release. And then we press firmly to feel the stretch. And then let's just pick up the right foot and do a few circles for 3 and 2 and 1. Place it down. And left side circle and 3 and 2 and 1. And the right side 3 and 2 and 1. And the left side 3 and 2 and 1. Let's shift ourselves forward into a plank for just a moment. Take an inhale breath, engaging the muscles of the body, not to cause any stress or fight or flight. And then lower the knees. Let your hips come forward and the shoulders draw back gently and lower yourself all the way down to the mat. And as we come down, rest your head, bend your knees, and just tick-tock your knees from side to side. Releasing the lower back. This is also a gentle massage for the abdomen, for the internal organs in the stomach. The actual stomach organ. The intestines. Take a breath in and a breath out. And now extend your legs and come into Sphinx pose. Propping up onto the forearms, bring support into your spine by pulling the stomach in and extend long through the crown of your head. Let's inhale a deep breath. And exhale. And inhale a deep breath in, tailbone down, extend to the crown of your head. And exhale. From here, let's extend the body out nice and long, fingertips to toes. Just raise the right arm and the left leg. Long fingertips to toes. Stimulating the entire nervous system. Inhale and exhale. Opposite arm, opposite leg lift. Breathe, inhale. And exhale. Let's bring the hands back in and lift ourselves up into our cobra pose. Return to child's pose with the right shoulder to the mat. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale, change opposite arm, shoulder to the mat, and a deep breath in. And exhale. Inhale, breath in. And exhale out. And then from here, let's go ahead and rise back up and come to a seated pose. Have a seat on your mat. Once again, this time extending your legs out in front of you. So let's just lengthen the legs out nice and long and bring the hands behind you for a supported back bend. Allow your heart to shine forward and your head to gently go back, not causing any compression in the spine whatsoever, but point your toes and lift the sternum and breathe here for 3 and 2 and 1. Coming out of the pose, lengthen the arms, and let's go ahead into a seated forward bend, taking the arms underneath the legs. We're releasing the lower back. We're not causing any strain. Yes, if you feel that you have the flexibility, go for it and reach for your toes. Otherwise, breathe into the upper back, neck, and shoulders. Inhale. Exhale. You can bend your knees as much as you need to. More if necessary. Inhale. And exhale. Now, if you can take a little pillow under the knees, or if you can go with your legs straight, I'd like you to take your thumbs right to the spot between your big toe and your second toe. and apply gentle pressure here. Let's breathe in and breathe out. This is liver 3. And in just a moment, I'm going to show you another point that relates to these points, which we call opening the 4 gates. And energetically, this can open up the portals of the body and the meridians across all sides, north to south, east to west, in a multi-directions to open up the meridians of the body to get our free-flowing vital energy more freely moving. Now, the liver has to do with the eyes. It also has to do with the emotional component of anxiety, frustration, and depression. So we're applying a little bit of pressure here at this very empirical point. In a moment, we'll be connecting to some other points that will fortify the pressure to these points. So a little acupressure to yourself, if you will. We're going to move just across the toes to the space right between your 4th toe and your 5th toe. And we're going to apply some gentle pressure here. Inhale and exhale. Now slide your thumbs into the groove and you'll feel it kind of stop right there in the groove. And this is gallbladder 43. And this is an excellent point for any kind of stomach problems, stomach issues, for also calming any kind of emotional disruption. And then allow your feet to just gently slide to the side and move your thumbs to the space in right as you place your fingertips on the medial malleolus and slide your thumbs down into the groove closest to your Achilles tendon. This is kidney 3, the waterways, the kidneys. And the kidneys have the emotional component of fear and courage. This is also a very helpful point for women dealing with any kind of gynecological disorders or issues. This is also a very grounding point for really all of us, from male, female, for grounding us. Often when I needle this point, you'll feel this point all the way to the bottom of the foot at kidney 1. But it's a very grounding point. And in these times where we feel ungrounded, we are going to begin to do practices of things that allow us to feel more grounded. Give yourself a little acupressure. Now move yourself right up into a more upright position. And right here at your kneecap, if you slide your thumbs right beyond the kneecap on the lateral aspect, you're going to feel kind of a tender groove, a little tender, soft spot. This is called stomach 36, the 3-mile walk. And this is an excellent point for stomach issues, stomach health. And for those of you that are learning a lot about your immunity and your health, you will understand that a lot of our health has to do with our gut health. And that is why it's a huge part of Dr. Patty's protocols is to improve gut health through probiotics, whether it's one of the prescriptive supplements or the Kashaya yogurt, but it's very important for us to develop a healthy gut. This is one of your best points for healthy gut. Excellent point for any kind of knee issue too, but I find more importantly, this is a point that I often needle almost every patient to help influence the stomach meridian in the most positive and beneficial way. And now as we come up out of that point, let's fold one leg in and just take a gentle twist to relieve lower back, to feel good. And while we're here, we're going to go ahead and fold forward towards left toes. So we're going to be accomplishing a little bit more flexibility on our left side, but at the same time, I'd like for you to rest your hands on your shin and take your right thumb and place it right here between your thumb and your index finger. There's a groove here. This is called LI4, large intestine 4. That's the confluent point with your liver 3 point, opening up the 4 gates. Let's apply gentle pressure as we stretch forward and take 5 deep breaths. Remember, we're creating the intention, which is most important, that we believe that we're opening up the meridians of the body to facilitate vital energy to move freely through the body in the most productive and healthy way possible. One more breath. And exhale, now change. Let's take that twist. Look over your shoulder. Inhale, breath. Twist, release, exhale. And then let's come forward into this one leg forward bend in yoga. I didn't mention on the other side, but I'll tell you here. This is called Janu Shirshasana, head to knee pose. Rest your hands wherever they naturally fall. Remember, this is a restorative yoga practice. This is about restoring the mind and the body. And I'm adding in some acupressure points for you to stimulate chi, vital energy. Take your thumb on the left hand and place it between your other thumb and index finger in the groove. You might feel a little tenderness there, and apply firm pressure as we fold forward and apply pressure to LI4, large intestine 4. If you'd like more information about any of these points, feel free to reach out to me, and I'll be more than happy to educate you and to show you even more in detail how you can apply pressure to your own points. We are launching our telemedicine format through our application, and I'll be more than happy to send you that link, and we can help you on a more individual basis. Let's inhale and exhale. Now, let's bring the soles of the feet together. Soles of the feet come together to open up the hips, the inner thighs. We'll do a little neck release as well. Holding on to the toes, press the knees out wide, sit as tall as you can. Draw your shoulders back and your chin down. Take a very deep breath in through the nose. Inhale. Exhale. Lower your ear to one side and draw the opposite shoulder back so you literally feel these scalenes open. You can feel the stretch and the release. As you draw the shoulder back and you press the knees down, we're not only opening the hips, but we're opening up the shoulders and muscles around the neck where we hold tension as well. Well, let's just draw the head down and around and over to the other side and simply hold. We draw the shoulder back and the ear down and we breathe deeply for 5. Sit tall, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We bring the head down. We take a very deep breath in and then exhale and pull forward. Use your elbows to open the knees, to lower the hips, to pull your belly button towards your heels. Now at this point, take your thumbs and at that space with the ball of the foot right in the center, that is kidney 1, that is your most grounding point. It is not a pleasant point to receive an acupuncture needle, but it's an excellent point to place pressure. To keep yourself grounded, stimulate your kidneys to be as productive as they optimally can be. And when we are influenced by the emotions of fear, sometimes our kidneys can be affected in a negative way. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, deep breath, and exhale. Now our final pose before Shavasana is legs up the wall pose. So the best way to get into the posture is to make sure that you have space. I have a beautiful wall hanging here. I'm going to try very carefully not to disrupt. Get your hip rather close to the wall, lie down, and then you can reposition yourself so the legs go right up the wall. I highly recommend supporting your head, or you can simply take your hands and your thumbs right here at the ridge of the occiput. You'll feel a slight indentation. This is gallbladder 20. And this is an excellent point that goes through to the eyes. It is very helpful for any kind of wind cold condition. These are other excellent points to help boost our immunity. Also to relieve pressure and tension around the connections of the neck and the head, right here at the occiput. Apply gentle pressure, cradle the head, allow your legs to go up the wall so your legs are supported and you no longer have to do the work. This is excellent for circulating clean and new oxygen and blood flow through the body. And I know I haven't said it for a while, but I've been talking quite a bit. This is the best time to come back and reflect on your Ujjayi breathing and also drawing the energy from your heart to your brain. Inhale and exhale. Now, I would recommend staying in this posture for 5 minutes minimally. If you can stay in the posture for at least 5 minutes, maybe you stay in the posture for 8 minutes. And this is going to do wonderful things for your circulation, for your mindset. If you're feeling down, if you're feeling stressed, this is an excellent way to bring calmness to the mind and body by shifting your energy, by shifting your perspective. I invite you and encourage you to stay in the posture. However, I'm going to reorientate myself to see you. And to close this practice, those of you with legs up the wall, stay right where you are. I want to thank you very much for joining me, Cortney Singleton, acupuncturist. I'm representing several businesses. This is a really wonderful time that I'm able to integrate my passions and my love and dedication towards several businesses that support me. Sajune, Aspen Elevated Health, and Zaya Yoga, which is where I'm leading this practice today. I encourage you all to reach out, to stay safe, to be well, to take it to the next level. This is just one piece of the protocol of the greater puzzle, of the greater pie, if you will, of your wellness. And we are all in this unique time where we can make a shift in a positive way going forward from here on out, because our new normal is going to look a lot different. So start integrating these practices now so you have the tools so that we go back into our world with the vision and the strength of a warrior, but a peaceful warrior. Many, many blessings to you. Much love and light from the very bottom of my heart. Peace and love and light. Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Namaste.